Hello, everybody. I'm CJ Miller. I'm in Shreveport, Louisiana. We are located in Northwest Louisiana. Across the Red River is beautiful Bossier City, Louisiana. Do come check us out. I'd love to have you stop in on your way through. We're a great layover spot. But if you're looking for something new to do, we are a great vacation spot uh, in and of our own self. So yeah, we'll make you feel at home and everything. So I made some fried chicken today. Uh, just I had the chicken. I needed to cook it. I don't want to leave chicken in my refrigerator uncooked for more than yeah. I don't want it to go bad, so I really want to cook it. So I did that, and it was great. It was great. I did a video about it, but that was my day. But then I decided, if I'm going to go through all this trouble and really do this fried chicken, this really wonderful classic uh, Southern style fried chicken that has a bite to it. You know what I mean? When I bite this chicken, it's gonna bite me in the ass right back. That's what I want. Fried chicken with some damn attitude, and that's what I made. But since I went through all that, it's like I want to be able to enjoy this with a good side dish and everything. So I'm gonna wait and go ahead and finish out this day as a day of fasting, so that I can have uh, a carb laden side dish. My favorite is going to be a mac and cheese, Uh, so, and I've got like some heavy cream to use with this mac and cheese. And so when I do a mac and cheese, it's like I really have fun with it. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, but I decided not to eat right away. I went over to the YMCA. I joined it. Uh, I actually, I thought about, can I see it from here? Let me see. Um, I don't think I can see the YMCA from here, but I can see, or I would be seeing it if it could peek above uh, some trees. It's like literally right behind. It's There's some trees, uh, and those trees are blocking my view of what I'd be looking at the YMCA. So. But it's cool. But it's cool. And that's how it's really close to home. I did a little video about that. It's just a short little, uh, like, this is my neighborhood. I live here, and I can look and I can see from this vantage point. I can see my apartment and I can see my gym. And the reason why I did it is I have a Silver Sneakers uh, gym membership, but there aren't any like gyms immediately downtown that take my insurance perk. So uh, the YMCA offers an affordable membership, and so I decided, I could do that, and then when I'm away from my neighborhood, then I can use my Silver Sneaker benefits. But yeah, it's going to be fun, and one of the things that I enjoy about it, and this is, in the men's locker room, there's uh, a dry sauna, there is a steam room, and there's a bubbling hot tub that's uh, it's really really good, those types of things for skin health, and I'm getting to that age. No, I've been at that age where I've really needed to pay more attention with actual skincare. uh, uh, you know uh, why not? Why should uh, why shouldn't I care about my skin and the health of it and everything? Um, so that's great. But yeah, because I take medication, I take blood pressure medicine, stuff. So it's like, being medically compliant. Those things, they will come out in your skin. So this is, to take better care of my skin. So, because I'm not a fanatic about skincare, I get in this kick every once in a while and remind myself, hey, to take care of my skin, it's more than just uh, you know, it's more than just a hot shower and exfoliating. You gotta like really just get in there and do it. So that's kind of cool. And I can tell. I always look and feel better when I'm taking better care of my skin. So anyway, that's fun. What else? What else? What else? Oh. Yeah, and I do this. I make these little videos for to reach out to people and stuff that to put myself out there a little bit, that get to know people. But really just a in a way, it's motivation for the things that make me feel good in my day. It's a way that I can kind of journal what's going on in my life, good, bad, indifferent, casual, not a lot going on. Uh, yeah, and if I make connections with people in the YouTube verse, I really love that. But ultimately, I want to inspire good vibes and hope. And one of the things that I love uh, is in the is music. And so in the late 80s to going into the mid 90s, maybe a little bit going forward or whatever, there was a movement in country music, which is important in the American South for sure. But a lot of us were coming of age around that time, and so we were broadening our spectrum. It wasn't just hair metal anymore, guitar based rock, which I love that. I my babysitter was MTV. So yeah, it's like, but yeah, I was getting a wider, and I'll tell you how I got introduced more to country music. My father, that's what he would listen to when he was driving around when we were kids and everything like that. But we would go home, we listened to rock and roll as kids. And then when I got older, I had a car, and the car only had an AM radio in it. Oh, that's cool. So I tuned in to a local country station that would play an AM, and so I could hear uh, on an AM frequency. I could hear uh, some country and get like some country songs that I would not normally have chosen. So I was fortunate to be introduced and to be exposed, I should say, to a closer range of it. So in that way, country became as much part of my love of music as any classical music, as rock. Uh, rock opera. I became like a diverse appreciating music. I will go see a Patti LaBelle concert uh, just as eagerly as I will go see a Pearl Jam concert. So yeah, because I think all popular music, regardless of its accent, I think American popular music all really comes from the same place anyway. It has its own flair and soul, regardless of the accent. Then you can sort of tell. You can sort of tell. Um, there are some cultural influences that happen from time to time. Uh, Latin music is different than American pop music, but so you can tell it's got its individual. Well, there's if you listen hard, as diverse as American music is, and as much as we appropriate from each other, hate to say it, sometimes that happens naturally, and sometimes it's forced for exploitation with good intent, though. But yeah, let me just say, uh, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to have, this awareness of music that I do have. But anyway, so in this 90s, country music started to sound really more and more and more like crossover rock and roll. There's always been a country rock vibe going all the way back to the Eagles, Linda Ronstadt, even some of what Janis did, and she was a rocker for sure. Christopherson, she did Christopherson's song, which was he wrote as a country song, and she did it as a yeah. So me and Bobby McGee, by the way, is the song. So anyway, yeah, what are we doing? Talking about this movement in it was a neo folk music in 1990 that it really just for across the board, especially some of the women, but some of the men too, but a lot of folk music uh, across the board between country, pop, rock. There was an influence, and it was sort of like a mellow answer a little bit of a response to grunge because grunge came and grunge really changed rock and roll. The way that people thought of. Now we want this music to sound like people playing in their garage at home. The music needed to sound like you uh, could jam along with the bands you were listening to. You know, and that's what music gave us. Uh, and we got an answer to that also in as we started to experiment and learn stuff, we started to get some country vibe, and then we're in the South, so we would get like you know Reba, Garth Brooks really rocked it up. Listening to Garth Brooks is like going to a rock concert back in the day, uh, and so yeah, Dwight Yoakam, who was singing old style country music, but he was doing it in front of a punk rock audience in Hollywood. You know, Tanya Tucker was one of the first ones to try to introduce country music to the rest of the rock and roll listening world by crossover appeal. Uh, yeah, but what else? Yeah, so back in this time, there were Trisha Yearwood. She got married to Garth Brooks. Uh, Mary Shape Carpenter. I Feel Lucky. Big, huge. Uh, Sell out arenas with her shows and stuff like that. And then she won like Grammys, for her work. Uh, what else we're getting a hold of? Down at the Twist and Shout won an award, Best Grammy Award. So yeah, um, in this thing, we had uh, Katie Osland, who was popular in the '80s, but she kept it going, and she, in the '90s. But one of the ones, Pam Tillis, and Pam Tillis had a string of hits, and later on, we'd go to karaoke. My family, my dad, my sister, and I, whatever, we'd sit around, we'd sing karaoke at our favorite little karaoke bar, and that was really kind of fun. So I got to know these songs mostly from karaoke, not even so much the original version. But then, yeah, so, well, I was doing some looking on Ticketmaster because I have a concert coming up that I'm going to go to in October with some friends of mine, and I was kind of checking out dates and stuff. I'm just kind of peeking in, and then I noticed that Pam Tillis was going to be playing at uh, Margaritaville. And the tickets are not that expensive and everything. So, and then I remember that my sister really loved singing some of these songs, and I enjoyed these songs too. Sean Culver, she did a song around this time called "Sonny Came Home." It was more on the pop end, the more on the pop rock end of things, and some of them were more on that end of it, and then some of them were more on the country side of it. And Pantelis was more on the country side of it. But you listen and you got to know these songs anyway. Like the same constituents, the same people who would listen to Tanya Tucker or Trisha Yearwood, those are the same people who would listen to Alanis Morissette. You know, which you know yeah. So, who was really big at the time also. So that whole motion kind of created a new way of listening to music that we still do today locally. We have a hot mix station where it's like a hot mix or whatever it is, where we listen to pop music right behind. They'll play pop music, a pop song. They'll play country. They'll come in with some R&B, maybe a little anything that people really are gravitating to or whatever. It fits in that. So and that's the way that we listen. We don't compartmentalize that much when we listen to stuff. When we listen to music, uh, going down the road. If you think about your playlist, your playlist. Sometimes they're by mood. I want to rock out, but a lot of my playlists that I make, they're a blend. I noticed that I started out, hey, this is jazz and this is country, this is rock, and then I started pulling my favorite songs from those. And now when I create playlists that I like to listen to, uh, it's usually a blend, a mix of various genres, and I love that, because I will go see. I think I may have said this. I'll go watch Patti LaBelle just as fast as I'll go listen to, Pearl Jam in concert, so, or whatever. So anyway, but yeah, my sister and I were going to go see Pam Tillis, and it's fun. And I think it's, I always ask my sister, hey, come see this show that I want to see, and she comes and everything like that. But so this is like, okay, well now I can like go with her, and I know she's really going to enjoy these songs because they're great songs. Uh, let's see. Uh, no use crying over spilled perfume. I don't know if it's truncated or not. Um, let's see. Shake the sugar tree till I feel your love falling all around me. Or whatever that one. Uh, I think it's Shake the Sugar Tree. I couldn't remember. But yeah. Um, my sister loved a lot of these songs and sang a lot of them and everything. So yeah, so we're gonna go see it, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy. We got lucky because the where this venue is, there's not like, it's not arena sitting. It's all huge floor seating, and then above the floor seating there is. I've been to this venue. It's then there's a balcony seating, but if you're on the short side, unless you're tall, you're going to be like looking around people. So we were able to I was able to score front row in a balcony. So it's vantage point is going to be great. Uh, it's going to be great because it's a really great view of the stage. It's not like sitting right up on the stage where you're watching the whole show with your neck tilted back so you have a sore neck, but we're front row on the balcony so we can look over it and everything like that. So hey, we'll get over our vertigo. It's not so high. We went to see Cher, and by the time I got the confirmation that yeah, we're going to do this, uh, the only tickets that were available uh, were way at the top, and it was it was at the Bossier Arena. It's a Brookshire's Arena now, but at the time it was something else, CenturyTel or something. But yeah, you were like, oh my God, we must be like a mile up in the sky or something, looking down at this. And the vertigo set in. But this is not going to be different. I mean, the balcony's there, but it's not so high up that you get dizzy, like, oh my God, But it'll be fun. It'll be fun. And we won't have to look around people or over people because we're first row balcony and nearly front facing the stage. So it's great. Um, that being said, I'm really happy. I love my sister. I love when we have it. She's actually some of the most fun that I have is running around with her. So if you have siblings, remember you can always have best friends, and best friends be like siblings and everything like that. But friends, even the best of friends, can be seasonal. They can be in your life for a few years or several years and then take different directions. And that's what life is like. But a sibling bond is one that really just does not break. It is kind of a from birth to death experience. You have your sibling and they will be your sibling, and that connection is there. You know, it's not, whatever, through thick and thin. And that's the kind of coolness that I have with my sister, and it's cool. And I think she feels the same way, so that's kind of cool. Okay, so I love you guys. Peace, love and light. Good night.